Hello! Have you ever wondered why some people seem to make money effortlessly, while others always feel like they're falling short? What makes them different? Is it luck? Or is there a secret formula? The truth is, there is no secret formula, except for one thing: mindset. Let me share with you a story that many successful people often tell. Their lives are not just shaped by external opportunities, but by how they think about money. Take, for example, someone who has faced poverty, just like you and I. But instead of dwelling on their circumstances, they began to see money not as an obstacle, but as a tool. They didn't just make money, they learned how to make money work for them. This doesn't mean you have to work endlessly just to make money. What it means is, when you understand that money is a means to create freedom, you will no longer view it as something out of reach. You will know how to create value, and money will follow. But the question is, how can you achieve financial freedom without changing your way of thinking? Think about this. Successful people never let themselves be limited by scarcity. They don't look at the money in their bank account as a fixed number. They see money as an opportunity to grow, to expand, and to achieve goals that many others only dare to dream about. So what truly separates those who can build wealth from those who can't? It's how they think about money. Poor people often worry about how to get money, while wealthy people think about how to invest and make money work for them. The key is not working more hours, but working smarter, creating opportunities, and never fearing challenges. Imagine waking up every morning without worrying about whether you have enough money to get by. Instead, you can focus on your passions, your big projects, and the dreams you've held onto for years. That's true financial freedom, when money is no longer the problem. So, are you ready to change the way you think about money? Are you ready to step out of your comfort zone and explore ways to create financial freedom for yourself? The secret is, when you change your mindset about money, you'll create opportunities you've never seen before. Don't let money be a burden. Let it be a powerful tool to help you build a life full of freedom, abundance, and new opportunities. The difference in mindset between the rich and the poor. There is a famous saying shared by many successful people: mindset determines success. And among the most important factors in a person's mindset, the difference between the rich and the poor lies in how they view money and how they approach financial matters. The poor save, the rich invest. We often hear the phrase, saving is the key to becoming wealthy. But in reality, saving too much may not be the most effective path to long-term wealth. The poor tend to save a portion of their income every month, believing that if they accumulate enough, they will eventually become wealthy. They try to cut expenses, eat frugally, and reduce unnecessary spending, hoping that these savings will provide them with a stable financial future. However, if you look at how the rich handle money, you'll see a stark contrast. The rich don't just save. They invest their money in opportunities that help grow their wealth. Investment is how the rich make their money work for them. Saving is only part of financial management. The poor may save money in their bank accounts, but they fail to realize that due to inflation, their money is losing value over time. For example, $1 million you save today will be worth less in the future. On the other hand, if you invest in opportunities that generate passive income or assets like real estate, stocks, or even invest in yourself by learning and developing new skills, you'll see your money grow over time. A case study in B. Let's imagine you have two friends, A and B. Both earn $1,000 per month, but how they use their money is completely different. A. He decides to save $500 every month. He believes that after a long period of saving, this money will eventually make him wealthy. Every day, he focuses on cutting back on expenses and saving more. B. Even though he earns $1,000 a month, instead of saving, he invests $500 in learning new skills, starting a business, or buying assets. He believes that investing in himself and opportunities that generate income will provide long-term benefits. After 5 years, can you guess who will be wealthier? B will definitely be richer than A because he understands that money should work for him. He doesn't just stash his money away in the bank. He invests it in opportunities that can provide long-term value. The rich double their money, while the poor only store it. The key here is how the rich view money. Instead of just keeping money in the bank and hoping that one day their savings will generate returns, the rich choose to invest and develop assets that can generate passive income. They understand that money is not just a static object to be hoarded, but a tool to create opportunities and value. On the other hand, the poor see money as something to be protected and saved. They live in fear of not having enough, and, as a result, they only tend to keep what they have without ever making it work for them. The poor only look at how much they have saved, while the rich always find ways to multiply that money through smart investments. Shifting mindset from saving to investing. So, how can one shift their mindset from saving to investing? The important realization is that saving is not the only way to build wealth. Saving is a crucial part of financial management, but it cannot help you achieve financial freedom if you don't know how to make your money grow. When you start shifting your mindset and begin investing in opportunities that can bring long-term value, you will see a huge difference. Seek out opportunities to invest in assets, in your skills and knowledge, in things that can grow over time and generate passive income for you. The big difference between the rich and the poor is not just how much money they earn, but how they use that money. The poor save and keep their money in the bank, while the rich invest and make their money work for them. To become wealthy, you need to change your mindset. View money as a tool to create value and opportunity, rather than just something to save. Start investing in opportunities that generate passive income and help you achieve the financial freedom you desire. The mindset of responsibility. Why the rich take ownership and the poor blame others. In life, it's easy to point fingers when things don't go as planned. Many people blame external circumstances, believing that their failures are due to things beyond their control. The poor, in particular, often find solace in this blame game, convinced that they would be better off if the world were a little fairer. The government is corrupt. That's why I'm poor, they say. The rich are lucky. That's why they're successful, they claim. If I had rich parents, I would be successful too, they convince themselves. But here's the truth. Blame never leads to success. In fact, it often keeps you stuck. People who blame others for their misfortunes never take full responsibility for their own lives, and that mindset holds them back from achieving greatness. On the other hand, the wealthy, those who have reached extraordinary heights, do not look for excuses. They do not spend their time pointing fingers at circumstances or people. They take full responsibility for their actions, their choices, and their failures. The power of taking responsibility. If you want to break free from the chains of mediocrity, you must first understand one simple but powerful truth. Success starts with taking responsibility. The moment you stop blaming the government, your family, or your circumstances, you unlock the door to your own power. The rich do not wait for someone to fix things for them. They don't sit around hoping for a lucky break or for things to change. They take full ownership of their journey and make things happen, no matter how difficult the road may be. The rich don't play the blame game. Think about the most successful individuals in the world today. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, started his company in a small garage. He wasn't born into wealth or privilege. He had a vision, and he took action. Despite the challenges and struggles he faced, Bezos never blamed his situation or his lack of resources. Instead, he worked tirelessly, took risks, and found ways to grow his business into one of the most powerful companies in the world. Elon Musk, another billionaire entrepreneur, faced countless setbacks before his companies became the giants they are today. Musk was once deeply in debt, facing near bankruptcy, yet he didn't wallow in self-pity or look for someone to blame. He pushed forward, made difficult decisions, and used his failures as learning opportunities. Today, Tesla is a leading force in the electric car industry, and SpaceX has revolutionized space travel. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, was famously fired from the very company he created. Imagine the blow to his ego, fired by the company he built from the ground up. But did Jobs let this setback define him? Did he blame his failure on the board of directors or on his circumstances? Absolutely not. He took responsibility for his journey, and instead of giving up, he used his experience to reinvent himself and come back stronger. When he returned to Apple years later, the company transformed into one of the most successful and innovative businesses in history. Responsibility breeds growth and success. The key to their success wasn't luck. It wasn't external factors like the government or their families. What set them apart was their ability to take full responsibility for their lives. They understood that failure is not the end, but a learning experience. Each setback, each loss, and each rejection was a lesson that helped them grow stronger. They didn't give up. They didn't quit. They didn't blame the world. They simply adjusted, adapted, and kept moving forward. So when you face challenges or setbacks in your life, remember that it's not about blaming others. It's not about looking for someone or something to hold responsible. It's about looking in the mirror and asking, what can I do to improve? What lessons can I learn from this failure? How can I grow from this experience? The rich take action. The poor wait for change. The poor, on the other hand, often wait for external circumstances to change. They hope that one day someone will come and solve their problems. They sit and complain about the system, the economy, their upbringing, or their bad luck. But waiting for someone else to fix your life will only keep you stuck in the same place. Success doesn't happen when you wait for things to change. Success happens when you take action, even when the odds are against you. Your future is in your hands. The moment you stop blaming others and start taking full responsibility for your life is the moment your life begins to change. You will stop feeling powerless and start feeling empowered. You will realize that no matter what happens, you have the ability to shape your destiny. It's not about where you start. It's about the choices you make along the way. If you take responsibility for your life, you will find a way to turn any situation into an opportunity. The rich don't wait for things to happen. They make things happen. They understand that the road to success is not easy, but they are willing to put in the work, take the risks, and learn from their failures. Success is not about avoiding failure. It's about embracing failure and using it as a stepping stone to success. Take responsibility. Create your own success. If you want to change your life, the first step is to stop blaming others. Take responsibility for your actions, your choices, and your future. Don't wait for things to get better. Make them better. The world is full of opportunities, but they are only accessible to those who take full responsibility for their lives and take bold action to seize those opportunities. Remember, the rich don't blame the world. They own their journey, and they create their own success. And so can you. The fear of risk, why the poor avoid it and the rich embrace it. One of the most fundamental differences between the rich and the poor is their approach to risk. Risk for many is a scary word. It conjures up images of failure, of losing everything, and of making mistakes that can't be undone. The poor are often afraid of risk because they believe it could lead to failure, financial ruin, or social embarrassment. What if I fail? They ask. What if I lose my money? What if people laugh at me? These fears hold them back, and they never take the first step towards creating their future. The truth is, living in fear of risk means living in a self-imposed cage. A cage that keeps you stuck in your comfort zone, away from the opportunities and growth that lie just beyond the walls. It's the fear of failure that often prevents the poor from trying, while the rich understand that failure is simply a stepping stone to success. The comfort of the cage, how fear holds us back. Imagine a lion living in a zoo. The lion is fed every day. It is kept safe, and it lives a life free of hunger or danger. But despite the comforts of this life, the lion never grows stronger. It never learns to hunt, to fight, or to survive in the wild. The lion in the zoo is alive, but it is not truly living. This is how many people live their lives. They avoid risk at all costs, clinging to the safety and comfort of their current situation. They stay in jobs they dislike. They live paycheck to paycheck, and they settle for less than they deserve because they are afraid to step out of their comfort zone. They are afraid of failing, afraid of what others will think, and afraid of losing what little they have. But in doing so, they become like the lion in the zoo, safe but weak, never reaching their full potential. The problem with this way of thinking is that it doesn't allow for growth. Without risk, there can be no reward. Without challenge, there can be no improvement. The truth is, every successful person has faced risk and uncertainty at some point. Every entrepreneur, every innovator, every leader has stepped into the unknown and faced the possibility of failure. And it is through facing these risks that they have been able to grow stronger, wiser, and more successful. The lion in the wild, how embracing risk leads to strength. Now, imagine that same lion, but this time in the wild. It is no longer safe in a cage. It must hunt for its food, face predators, and fight for survival. The lion encounters danger every day, but it also becomes stronger. Its instincts are sharpened, its muscles grow, and it learns how to adapt to its environment. The lion is no longer just surviving, it is thriving. It is becoming the king of the jungle, the apex predator, because it has embraced the risks that come with living in the wild. This is what the rich understand. Success comes to those who are willing to take risks. It's not about avoiding failure or playing it safe. It's about stepping out into the wild, facing challenges head on, and learning from the experiences along the way. The rich don't avoid risk. They embrace it. They understand that every failure is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to grow stronger. Each risk taken is a chance to improve, to innovate, and to ultimately come closer to achieving their goals. The mindset of the rich. Embracing risk as part of the journey. For the rich, risk is not something to be feared. It is something to be embraced. They understand that without risk, there can be no real reward. They take calculated risks, weigh their options, and move forward even when the outcome is uncertain. Whether it's starting a new business, investing in a new venture, or taking on a new project, the rich are always willing to step outside their comfort zone because they know that growth lies just beyond the boundary of fear. Consider some of the world's most successful entrepreneurs. People like Elon Musk, Richard Branson, and Jeff Bezos have all faced enormous risks throughout their careers. Musk invested his own money into Tesla and SpaceX, even when both companies were on the verge of failure. Richard Branson started Virgin Records with little more than a dream, facing countless setbacks along the way. Bezos took a massive risk when he left his job on Wall Street to start Amazon in a small garage. These people didn't wait for everything to be perfect. They didn't avoid failure. They took risks because they knew that the road to success was never a straight line. It was full of detours, obstacles, and challenges. And yet it was through those very risks that they found success. They didn't let fear hold them back. They didn't let the possibility of failure stop them from moving forward. Instead, they used failure as fuel, learning from their mistakes, and using those lessons to improve and evolve. Are you living in the cage or ready to fight? So the question is, are you living in the cage or are you ready to fight? Are you afraid of stepping outside your comfort zone because of the potential for failure, or are you willing to embrace the risks that come with growing and achieving greatness? Success is not for the faint of heart. It's for those who are willing to step into the wild, take risks, and face failure with courage. It's for those who understand that every challenge is an opportunity to become stronger. Just like the lion in the wild, you must learn to fight, to hunt, and to survive. You must embrace the risks and challenges that come your way, because only then will you find the strength to become the king of your own jungle. Don't let fear keep you in the cage. Take the risk, embrace the challenge, and grow stronger with every step you take. The world is yours to conquer, but only if you are willing to face the risks head on. Life is not always easy, but it is the willingness to take risks, accept failure, and learn from mistakes that helps you grow and succeed. Life is full of challenges, and things do not always go the way we expect. Sometimes, challenges that seem impossible to overcome are the very opportunities that help us grow. If you always live in safety, in your comfort zone, you will never discover your true potential. Taking risks is not a bad thing. Taking risks is the first step toward achieving great things in life. If you never try, you will never know your limits. More importantly, if you let fear control you when faced with difficulties, you will never move forward. Fear is just a temporary feeling. But if you allow it to control your life, you will never progress or achieve what you desire. Embrace failure, the stepping stone to success. Remember, failure is not the end. Every failure is a valuable lesson. No one succeeds on their first try, and no one walks a straight path without stumbling. Successful people have faced countless failures before achieving greatness. For example, if you want to become a successful investor, you must learn from the financial mistakes you make early on. You will never learn how to manage money if you don't face your first financial missteps. You won't know how to build a business if you don't accept failure in your initial entrepreneurial attempts. It is these failures that help you grow and equip you with valuable lessons to achieve success later on. Face challenges and step out of your comfort zone. To achieve success, you must be willing to step out of your comfort zone. Once you start facing bigger challenges, you will gradually realize that the things you feared are not as terrifying as you thought. New things will become familiar, and you will be able to handle them with ease. Never let fear hold you back. Ask yourself, if I don't try, what opportunities will I miss out on? If I don't take risks, will I ever achieve the things I desire? The answer is, you will never know the wonderful things that could come into your life if you don't face your fears and take action. Money is important, but knowing how to use it wisely is the key to success. Thinking money truly plays an important role in life. However, money is not everything. To achieve real success, you need to know how to use money wisely and intelligently. Rich people don't just make money. They also know how to invest, spend wisely, and use money to create lasting value for themselves and society. If you only know how to save money but never take the risk to invest, you will never achieve prosperity. Money saved in the bank can lose value due to inflation, while money invested in valuable opportunities will grow over time. However, you must also be cautious when investing. Learn financial skills, and build passive income streams. Remember, successful people are those who know how to manage their finances intelligently. They use money not just to meet current needs, but to invest in their future, learn, and grow. Be brave and move forward. Finally, the most important lesson we need to learn in life is never let fear stop your progress. Life is full of challenges, but it is these very challenges that will make you stronger, help you develop, and become the person you want to be. Be courageous in facing difficulties, overcoming fear, and seizing opportunities when they come your way. Because it is those risks, failures, and brave decisions that will be the stepping stones leading you to success.